Good morning, students. Today we study about the edaphic factor, that is soil. The soil is one of the most important ecological factor called edaphic factor. The science which deals with the study of soil is called pedology. The study of soil is helpful in practices of agriculture, horticulture, forestry, etc., such as cultivation, irrigation, artificial drainage, and use of fertilizer. Pedology is also useful in sciences like geology, petrology, mineralogy, paleobotany, and paleozoology. A fully developed or mature soil is that state of soil that has assumed the profile features characteristic of predominant soils on the smooth uplands within the general climate and botanical regions in which it is found. Then development or formation of soil, that is pedogenesis. Soil is a stratified mixture of inorganic and organic materials, both of which are decomposition products. The mineral constituents of soil are derived from some parent material, that is the soil forming rocks, by fragmentation or weathering, while organic components of soil are formed either by decomposition or transformation of dead remains of plants or animals, or through metabolic activities of living organisms present in the soil. Therefore, the weathering of rocks lead to the formation of soil is called as pedogenesis. Process of soil formation, it involves weathering of soil forming rocks, and second, addition of organic matter, humidification, and mineralization. The first one, that is weathering of soil forming rocks. The weathering of soil forming rocks takes place by means of three types: physical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. First one, that is physical weathering. The physical weathering agents are primarily climatic in character, exerting a mechanical effect on the substratum, with the result that fragments are comminuted into progressively decreasing particle size. The smaller particle size, they are called regoliths. Such climatic weathering of rocks does not cause any chemical transformation of rock minerals and commonly occurs in deserts, in high altitudes, in high latitudes, and in localities with marked topographic relief and sparse vegetation cover, in the where the vegetation cover is small. The agents which are involved in climate weathering of rocks are temperature, water, ice, gravity, and wind. The temperature causes breakdown of those rocks which have heterogeneous structures due to the fact of differential expansion and contraction coefficient of minerals composing the rocks. Mineral composing the rocks have got different degrees of expansion. These minerals expand in the high temperature of day and contract when the temperature falls. The differential expansion and contraction of different minerals of rocks set up internal tension and produce cracks in the rocks, and consequently the rocks weather into fine particles. In the liquid state, water causes mechanical weathering of rocks by following methods. Rainwater. Natural water falling either in the form of raindrops or hailstorm on the surface of rock with beating effect bring about abrasion of massively rocks into smaller particles. Second is torrent water. Rapidly flowing water rolls the heavy rock masses such as rock builders along the bottom of stream and grinds them into fine particles. Third one is wave action. The wave action are most effective in sea shores. The rapidly striking water waves dislocate solid particles of varying diameters from seashore rocks, and the debris in, is then settled at the sea bottom to form marine soil. Water also acts as a mechanical carrier. Nearly 5 billion tons of mineral matter is annually carried away in solution from land to sea. In its freezing and ice melting state, water causes rock weathering by frost action and glacier formation. Water in the form of frost or ice is an extremely effective physical weathering agent of rock. It slips into rock crevices, freezes due to sudden fall of temperature of rocks, expands about 9% of its original volume, exerts a pressure of approximately 150 ton per feet square, and eventually cracks the rock into smaller pieces. Likewise, in summer, when ice at mountain tops start melting and glaciers move downward on the slopes, then during the glacier movement, the rock over which they move is gradually worn down to produce fine particles which are deposited as drift or till when glacier finally retreats. Gravitational weathering action is most effectively demonstrated by bond slides and rock slippage caused by earthquake and faulting, during which the rock is fragmented by abrasion and the forces of impact. Lastly, the rapid stormy wind carrying suspended sound particles causes the abrasion of exposed rock. It acts like a mechanical carrier in moving the particles over the surface of earth as dunes or deep drift, and in transporting the large quantities of fine suspended particles along distance. This is about the physical weathering. Then second one, that is chemical weathering. The physical disintegration produces a greater surface area of rock exposed to the chemical weathering, which occurs simultaneously with physical weathering and continues much beyond that. During chemical weathering, a chemical transformation or decomposition of parental mineral materials into new mineral complexes or secondary products occur. For example, primary minerals that contain aluminium and silicon. Such a feldspar are converted to secondary minerals such as clay. Because chemical weathering requires the presence of moisture and air as essential factor. Therefore, chemical weathering is not effective in deserts. It includes the following reactions. Solution. Water is the most potent chemical weathering agent in most kinds of rock through its solvent action. Solution helps in the removal of water soluble minerals of weathered rocks. For example, soluble rocks like gypsum, limestone, and those with a calcareous content get withered by the solvent action of water, which increases in the presence of carbon dioxide and organic acids formed by decay of organic remains of plants and animals. The solution of these minerals may become absorbed on the surface of negatively charged colloidal particles or are removed by leaching. First, that is about the solution. Second one, that is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis involves an exchange of constituent parts between water and minerals, such as the chemical union of water with strong bases producing hydroxides of iron, magnesium, calcium, aluminium, etc. Hydrolysis mostly acts in combination with other reactions such as oxidation, reduction, or carbonation, as in the production of secondary kaolitic clay minerals from primary orthoclase. Then oxidation. Oxidation results when oxygen is added to minerals to produce oxides, which when dissolved in water weaken the rock and bring about weathering. It occurs in well aerated, well drained soil. Because iron is especially reactive with water and oxygen, iron bearing minerals are prone to rapid decomposition. For example, due to oxidation, iron is oxidized into the red ferric state. Further, oxides and sulfides of iron, aluminium, manganese, etc. are easily oxidized and cause into the weathering of rocks. Then reduction. Reduction occurs in wet, badly drained, poorly aerated soils such as deep zones of earth crust. It means removal of oxygen from minerals. For example, red ferric oxide may be reduced to the grey ferrous state. Then carbonation. In carbonation, water and carbon dioxide combine to form carbonic acid, which reacts with hydroxides of calcium, magnesium, and other minerals of rocks to form carbonates and bicarbonates. The slightly soluble carbonates of these minerals either accumulate deeper in the rock or are carried away depending upon the amount of water passing through. The solubility of these carbonates leaves gaps in rocks and consequently makes weak enough for weathering process. Then hydration. During hydration, water molecules become chemically attached to particular rock minerals, due to which the volume of parental material increases and hydrated minerals become soft and more readily weatherable. Then third type is biological weathering. Though the surface of bare rock is unsuitable for many forms of life, even then a number of microorganisms, that is bacteria, protozoans, fungi, nematodes, lichens, and mosses can form foothold. These easily colonize, transform the rock into a dynamic system, storing energy and synthesizing organic materials. Their activities alter the mineral composition as well as the physical structure of the rock. For example, lichens are present in the initial stage of biological succession, and their growth may cause cracking or flaking, exposing greater area of rock to further weathering. The lichens and mosses extract minerals, nutrients such as phosphorus, sulfur, calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, iron, silicon, and aluminium from the rocks. These elements are combined with organic complexes and eventually return to the developing soil when the vegetation decomposes. This is all about the weathering of rocks by means of physical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. In next period, we see about the products of weathering and soil types, and the second process, that is addition of organic matter, humification, and mineralization. Thank you.